From Hollywood, it's Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel returns to ABC after suspension, defends free speech in emotional monologue on September 23, 2025. Jimmy Kimmel returned to his late-night show, Jimmy Kimmel Live, on ABC after a nearly week-long suspension sparked by controversial comments about the killing of conservative activist Charlie Kirk.
And asking for compassion, and I meant it.
Kimmel addressed the backlash, defended free speech, and criticized government overreach, declaring, "Our government cannot be allowed to control what we do and do not say on television." The suspension, which ignited a national debate over censorship and First Amendment rights, highlighted tensions between media, government, and corporate interests.
Multi-million-dollar settlement with the network last year, saying this one sounds more lucrative.
To Kirk's death, accusing Trump supporters of attempting to score political points by mischaracterizing the alleged killer, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, as a left-wing radical.
Never my intention.
Kimmel's remarks, which suggested Robinson was one of them, drew swift condemnation from conservative figures, including Federal Communications Commission (FCC) Chairman Brendan Carr. Carr, in a podcast with conservative commentator Benny Johnson, called Kimmel's comments truly sick and hinted at regulatory action against ABC, stating, "We can do this the easy way or the hard way." Hours later, Nexstar Media Group, which owns 32 ABC affiliates, announced it would preempt Jimmy Kimmel Live indefinitely, citing the remarks as offensive and insensitive.
Trump posted,
Sinclair Broadcast
"I can't
Group,
believe ABC
another major
fake news
ABC
gave
affiliate
Jimmy
owner,
Kimmel his
followed
job
suit,
back."
demanding Kimmel donate to Kirk's family and his organization, Turning
Kimmel was
Point
taken
USA.
off the air by ABC,
ABC,
parent company
owned by
Disney,
then
after
suspended
these
the show.
comments on the killing of Charlie Kirk.
The decision triggered widespread outrage. Over 400 Hollywood celebrities, including Jennifer Aniston, Meryl Streep, and Robert De Niro, signed an American Civil Liberties Union letter condemning the suspension as a threat to free speech. Late-night hosts like Stephen Colbert, Seth Meyers, and Jon Stewart rallied behind Kimmel, with Colbert calling the move blatant censorship. Even some conservative figures, such as Senators Ted Cruz and Rand Paul, expressed concerns about government involvement in silencing media voices.
Suspension became a flashpoint over free speech in America, people canceling Disney and Hulu subscriptions.
Cruz, on his podcast, warned that allowing the government to dictate speech will end up bad for conservatives. FCC Commissioner Ana Gomez, the sole Democrat on the panel, criticized the suspension as a shameful show of cowardly corporate capitulation that endangered First Amendment protections. In his return monologue, Kimmel, visibly emotional, clarified that he never intended to make light of Kirk's death, emphasizing, "I don't think there's anything funny about it." He acknowledged that his comments may have seemed ill-timed or unclear to some, expressing empathy for those offended. "If the situation was reversed, there's a good chance I'd have felt the same way." Kimmel stressed that the murderer, whom he described as a deeply disturbed individual, did not represent any political group.
MAGA gang desperately
he also praised the forgiveness shown by Kirk's
kid.
widow, Erica, at her husband's memorial, calling it a selfless act of grace that should guide the nation forward. Kimmel reserved sharp criticism for President Donald Trump and FCC Chairman Carr. Trump, who had celebrated the suspension as great news for America, called ABC a true bunch of losers for reinstating the show and threatened legal action, alleging Kimmel's remarks constituted an illegal campaign contribution to the Democratic National Committee. Kimmel fired back, accusing Trump of celebrating Americans losing their livelihoods because he can't take a joke. He also took aim at Carr, jokingly cutting to a video of Robert De Niro as a fictional FCC chair using mob-like tactics, underscoring Kimmel's point that government threats against broadcasters are un-American. The suspension raised broader concerns about the state of late-night television and free expression. The recent cancellation of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, set to end in May 2026, fueled speculation about political pressures on networks. Kimmel referenced this, noting he had taken free speech for granted until his and Colbert's shows faced censorship. Despite Disney's decision to reinstate Jimmy Kimmel Live, after thoughtful conversations with the host. Sinclair and Nexstar affiliates continued to preempt the show, limiting its reach in some markets. Kimmel expressed gratitude for the support from fans, peers, and even ideological opponents like Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens, who defended his right to speak despite disagreeing with him. "It takes courage for them to speak out against this administration," he said, emphasizing the importance of a united stand against government censorship.
Adding, "I think we're going to test
He concluded by reaffirming
ABC
his
out
commitment
on
to free
this."
speech,
Trump
stating,
referred to-
"What is important is that we get to live in a country that allows us to have a show like this." The episode, marked by a standing ovation from the audience, underscored Kimmel's resilience and the ongoing battle over free expression in media. As debates over censorship intensify, Kimmel's return signals a pushback against efforts to silence dissenting voices, though challenges remain with affiliates and regulatory pressures. His emotional plea for unity and free speech resonates as a call to protect democratic principles in an increasingly polarized landscape.